Thank you, Mark, and a big hello from London. Some interesting weekly technical patterns this past week. We had a weekly key reversal up in Euro Swiss, which after a stuttering start on Monday and part of Tuesday, has yesterday formed a daily key reversal up that has seen a significant move higher still today, over the gold long moving average, which is currently at 93.32. However, you should always look at the context in such things. And the euro earlier had moves up over the gold long moving average in December and August last year, as well as earlier times, and each time prices sunk back down below the gold long moving average after spending a few days over it. So caution here. We also had a weekly key reversal up last week in US dollar, Singapore dollar, which likewise, after a stutter, has moved higher and is up towards testing the gold long moving average here, which is currently at 129.05. It had a similar event to Euro Swiss with a move up over the gold long moving average in November last year, but saw prices eventually sink back down below. So once again, caution. In fixed income, German Bund futures had a weekly key reversal up last week, which has seen a reasonable, if a relatively small, follow-on higher this week. Now over to the one common theme for this past week. We had weekly key reversals up in parts of the energy sector, specifically in NYMEX RBOB futures, in ICE Gasoil futures, which is now approaching its flatlining gold long moving average overhead, currently at 671.25, and in NYMEX WTI crude oil futures, which is also approaching, this time its gently declining gold long moving average, currently at 62.36. Elsewhere in Paris milling wheat futures, we had a weekly key reversal up last week, if only just, and this week we have seen a strong reactionary move back down, with a daily key reversal down on Monday that almost took us out of last week's range on its own. However, since then the market has stabilized, still within last week's range. I suspect the cause of this sharp reversal down was the same as we saw the week earlier, and also in mid and early November last year, as well as June and May last year. The declining mauve medium moving average, currently at 192.5. I cover this more fully in my weekly grains video market commentary, due out on Friday. Elsewhere, we had a weekly key reversal up last week in LME steel scrap Turkey futures. This was quite a move higher last week, and we have seen a follow-on higher this week, up towards possibly testing the 2025 high at 386. Additionally, we saw a weekly key reverse up last week in the Hermes index of the Egyptian stock market. This had a small follow-on higher on Monday and Tuesday, making a new recent high, but today we have seen the index pull back some distance, filling in a gap left from last week and still within last week's range. Then there was the only weekly key reversal down last week in the markets I cover, in cable, otherwise known as sterling against the US dollar. This week we have seen prices start edging lower, but then pull back up higher, only to move back down again. A short-term market that is in a somewhat of a state of flux. As always, I'm happy to answer any direct questions with anyone who's interested. And with that, I'll finish this section from London, and I hope that you found these comments useful. Thank you for watching and listening. This weekly broadcast gives the essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted both at the front and at the back of this broadcast. Copyright is Eddie Tofpick and ADM Investor Services International Limited. And here comes the final important bit.